I think obviously we played a very, very talented and team that is very connected right now in Memphis. They're playing very, very good basketball. Physical around the glass. Their guards are playing well for them right now. And, you know, obviously a team that I believe is an NCAA tournament team that can win games in the NCAA tournament. They're talented enough. They're old enough. Nolly's a fourth-year senior. Williams is a fifth-year. Lomax, fourth year. Quinones, a junior. Harris, fifth year or fourth year. Can't figure that out anymore. And their one freshman is a top 10 pick in the draft. You know, so they're very, very good. And to give our guys credit, they played extremely hard, fought, battled. I thought the two key points in the game were the last couple minutes of the first half with a couple of those live ball turnovers that led to baskets. And then we broke the press and had a really good wide open three, and those are the shots you got to make. You got to make that. Just have not been able to make that one shot that kind of, instead of a 6-0 run, it's a 6-3 run. And then in the second half, I believe we got 4 or 6 point game. We got 6 straight stops, and we just weren't able to carve into the lead. Had some offensive possessions that weren't at the level of execution that you need to against that team. And then we had a couple good shots we just didn't make. And when you play a team of that caliber, you can't have, even if it's only a 4-minute stretch in the second half and a 2-minute stretch in the first half, it's hard to come back from. Didn't do a good enough job of taking care of the ball with 16 turnovers. Did a great job on the glass, out-rebounding that team by 5. And obviously, you know, clear to see that Russell's foul trouble in the first half really hurt us. Because as teams extend out, you got to be able to get the ball inside. And not only inside in terms of on post feeds, but on drives. As they go for blocks, you got to have someone you can drop the ball off to and score. And Russ obviously did that in the second half for us.
Coach, you talked about out-rebounding them. In the second half, you out-rebounded them. You held them to, I think, 39% shooting.
Yep.
Could you talk about your defense?
Well, I mean, you know, the last 2 games, Cincinnati game and this game, and really, you know, I mean, in the last 7-8 games, we've played our best basketball. We're playing pretty good. You know, there are certain times in games, you know, where you either got to make a shot. As I said, in the Cincinnati game, that's what we did. You know, we're up 1, Chaplin hits the 3. Those are the shots we have not been able to hit all year long. You know, we had a good look at the 3 in the first half. We had a couple good looks in that second half in that run. But the one thing that has remained pretty constant is we are getting better defensively. Obviously, we're playing with some more physicality on the defensive end. Made an adjustment on the ball screen stuff, which was very effective. You know, Russ is the best ball screen defender of any big, maybe in the country. I mean, he's just, you know, phenomenal at it in terms of being able to help the guard. Our guards are slight, you know what I mean? So sometimes on those ball screens, they get wiped out. And Russ is there to help and still get back and cover his man. So our defense in the second half was really, really good, and our rebounding was exceptional for the most part. Obviously, Duran got loose a couple times. A couple of them was against the zone, and a couple of them were on putbacks, which it's hard because he's so big. He gets you deep. If he misses the shot, you're kind of caught underneath the rim. So he's going to, you know, like I said, there's a reason he's a top 10 player in the draft. And he was able to get 4 offensive rebounds, second chance points, 7 to 9. You know, so we did a great job on the glass. But 21 to 4 points off turnovers, that's the difference in the game.
And they lead the conference. It feels like they had 8 tonight. They just kind of stab at the ball.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah, you got to be strong. The thing that they do is they test your focus and your discipline. You have to be very focused every single possession. We had done a good job in our press breaks, and then all of a sudden they get two at the end of that, in that last 2 minutes, and it was, both were just lack of focus. You can't spin dribble in the middle of the court against a press, and you can't enter the ball from 40 feet away from the basket to the wing against a hard pressure. And it's just, they test you on that. And give Murphy credit, he has eight assists and 1 turnover. He was dialed in terms of what he needed to get done offensively. I took him out in the first half because there was a couple possessions. We're better when we're organized, and then from the organization be able to make plays. And at times I didn't think we were as organized as we needed to be, and then he came back after that and was fantastic the rest of the game.
Coach, there's no such thing as a good loss, but could this be a productive loss? You have a big win in Cincinnati, you play a really good Memphis team down to the wire, and you show the film to the kids tomorrow, you go, hey, we're not that far away? Well,
I mean, if you take a look, like I said, outside of the Tulane game here during that 6-game stretch, every game with 8 minutes to go in the game has been a 1 or 2 possession game. You know what I mean? And we're close. You got to be able to make some plays. You got to be able to make some plays. And in our case, what it ends up being, you got to be able to make a couple shots. You know what I mean? You got to be able to make a couple shots. Like, Murphy hits the 3 at the shot clock. Those are plays. You got to make 2 or 3 of those in a game against a team like Memphis. So we are playing better. Yeah, obviously you see our guys. They're fighting and scrapping, and we're getting some good basketball from Corey Walker. Sam Hines did a really good job on Landers Noli, playing more on the wing, defending on the wing. I thought he did a good job. Obviously, Russell is playing at a very high level right now. Chap's just getting back from the injury, so he did some good things. But yeah, we got to build on it. You got to build on it, and you got to go out there and compete on Sunday in a tough environment at Temple.
The guys said when Javon fouled out, they kind of hit him. That hit them in particular. That that was the last time he was gonna play basketball on that court. Just how much has he meant to you as a senior, and how much of an impact can a one-year guy like that have? Yeah, I mean,
obviously, one of the challenges now as a coach is, you have senior night and the guys played 30 games for you. You know what I mean? So the relationships, even though they're strong, they're just not as deep. And myself and every other coach around just has to kind of get used to that. But he made a commitment to us last spring, and I always say, those guys who did that, they have a special place in my heart. You know what I mean? And he's given everything he's got for us. You know what I mean? He's had some struggles shooting the ball, but it has not impacted his daily habits and what he does for us. Obviously, I think he's one of the best defenders in our league. He had an unbelievable defensive effort the other night against DeJulius. Did a great job on him. Did a great job on home against Central Florida. I mean, he shut down some very, very good offensive players. And again, Quinones, he was on him, got him in foul trouble. You know what I mean? It just, he brings it every day. He brings it every day. He's got a positive attitude. He works. I love his work ethic. And so it's hard. It's hard when, you don't get the tangible results that you want for the work that you put in, but that's also part of the process that you have to go through and understand if you keep working, good things are going to happen to him. And he's got a bright future in basketball.
Corey and Russ have really kind of stepped up over the last month. What's clicked for both of them? Russ coming in last year was kind of finding his footing. He's really found it. And Corey kind of coming back and being effective in the last 5-6 minutes.
Well, 2 different reasons for the 2 different guys. Russ has done a really good job of embracing, as big as he is, playing even more physical, finding bodies inside and posting bodies. He had a tendency to post away from contact and catch the ball too far out. And now he's got to put the ball on the floor and all that stuff. He's done a good job of turning every ball screen into a seal-off. He seeks contact now. And when he seeks it and gets it, he holds that contact now. He's gained more confidence because of that. In turn, our team has gained more confidence in him. He was shooting under 50% in the 40s prior to basically going into the Tulsa game at Tulsa. After that, we showed film of the opportunities that he has, not only to post deeper, but our guys to throw him the ball. It took a turn after that. He shot the ball better from the free throw line. So now when he gets fouled, it's not an empty possession going up to the line and missing two or going 1 for 2. He's always put in the work. His biggest obstacle was just experience and playing, because he hasn't had the same experience as a lot of the guys on our team where they were playing basketball when they were 6, 7 years old. So his feel for the game and his understanding and all that, he's a very bright young man, very inquisitive, wants to get better. And so he's bought into some of the stuff that we've shown him, and because he's played more minutes, he's just getting more comfortable out there. Corey's a different situation. Obviously very, very talented. Sky's the limit for him. But he didn't play 1 minute of basketball last year. Not one. And he was injured, and he came here, and he was injured when he got here, and he had injury in the preseason, so he's missed a lot. So now he's just kind of rounding into understanding the play. He's got a very good basketball IQ. Obviously, the next phase for him, he's got to do a great job in terms of developing daily habits of great players. There's a big difference, as the question that you always ask, do you like it, do you love it, or do you live it? We got to get guys to start loving it and then moving on to living it. And as a young player, he's got to figure that out. But I have more than enough confidence that he will, because if he does, he could be a special player, not only for us, but in this league, for sure.
We know coaching is fraternity. What are your thoughts on Coach K and his final home game? How much of an impact do you believe he's made on college basketball and yourself?
Well, I'll tell you 2 quick stories. I'm very fortunate to have played in the game that Coach K won and moved to his first Final Four. That was a Navy team that he beat, and I actually played about 45 seconds in that game. All right? Took a charge and shot an air ball, so it was a hell of a game for me. But it was, you knew then, as a opponent, that was a special team and something special was starting there. You know what I mean? With Amaker and Dawkins and Billis and Allery and those guys. They were, you could tell. You know what I mean? You could tell. And then obviously I've been very blessed to be able to compete against him in games and spend time with them at league meetings and different things like that. And one of the first calls I got when my time at Georgia Tech ended was from Mike. And people don't understand he does that stuff all the time. Obviously he's made college basketball a better place. He's impacted lives. You coach to transform people's lives, and he's done that. Now he's won a gazillion games in the meantime as well. You know what I mean? And he is as good a person. I've been fortunate to start my career under Judd Heathcote, whose number one priority was other coaches outside of his players. He was for the coaching profession. That's what Mike Krzyzewski's been. He is all about the coaching profession and the people in it. And he's a fierce competitor. There's no doubt about that. But you take a step back, and as a coach, you feel very fortunate to be able to be in the same profession as him, but also to have some competitive situations against him as well. But you know, the amount of respect that you have for what he's done, not just as a coach, the success, but you look at the men that he's produced, it's off the chart. Yeah, it's amazing. It'll never be done again, ever. You can mark that, never. That doesn't mean someone won't win more games, but no one will have it what he's done. Not a chance.
Coach, now you gotta go to Temple.
Yep.
And a house of horrors for you. It's hard to play there. You can't even pronounce the name of the arena they're in.
Right.
Fran leaves, but they don't miss a beat. What is it about Temple that gives you trouble?
Well, they just they're tough. You know what I mean?
You go to war with them.
Aaron has done a really good job. Obviously, they were young and so forth, but he's done a great job of kind of combining the toughness that Coach Shaney had with those guys.